These are my stories about the farm.
When you were younger, because we were talking this the other day, you said a lot of the time you would take a horse if you had to go somewhere, right? For like school or something.
Oh, yeah. When you visit somebody, it was usually a horse up until you had your own car. Growing up, I know we had always had a car, but it was a Model A.
Yeah.
But it never really worked that good.
Yeah.
So we all had horses, our own Shetland pony.
And you said too that you wouldn't even use saddles, right? You would just ride them bareback.
Yeah, we didn't even know I for sure didn't know what a saddle was
Yeah.
until I saw a rodeo. Yeah,
Yeah.
I never knew what a saddle was.
Yeah.
No. Uh-uh.
How young do you think you were when you first started riding a horse? Pretty little, I assume.
Yeah, probably 7, I would think,
Yeah.
when I started getting the cattle. I know I milked cows when I was 7.
Yeah.
Did I? I don't know. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think you'd have to be a little bit bigger so your legs are long
Yes.
enough.
Yeah. Yeah. You didn't have to worry about putting them in the saddle because you didn't have saddles.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, yeah.
Yeah, just so you could hold on.
Yeah. And you hold on to the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be scary if they started spooked and started running without a saddle.
Well, that's what happened more
Yeah.
than once. Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. And no matter how hard you pulled those reins,
Mm-hmm.
didn't help. I had a Palomino. It was a real tall horse. It was all white. So I broke my Palomino, and he bucked me off many times. But I went right back on, and he became a good riding horse. But for some reason, he spooked.
Yeah.
Got spooked easy. Yeah. And now, Gene had a nice, a little bigger, not big as the Palomino, it was a shorter, but it was a nice Shetland pony to ride. And Kenny, he just had a regular workhorse,
Yeah.
and he was okay with that. And Donnie had a little horse called Shorty. Donnie was always kind of afraid.
Sure.
Donnie was always kind of afraid to ride a horse. I don't know why.
Mm.
But he did ride a horse just because he was that age. But he never really went with us riding on when we Sundays to other farms. I don't know why. There was other kids his age then,
Yeah.
but he just kind of stayed home. So we got another horse called Lady. She was a very nice riding horse, a Shetland pony. And when we got them, they were already broke.
Yeah. All of them except for yours, or?
Except for mine, the Palomino. Yeah.
Do you remember any of the other ones' names?
Yeah, Shorty, Donnie's horse, Lady.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny's horse was Polly. And Gene's was Brian.
Brian?
Yeah,
That one feels random.
yeah.
What was your horse's name?
Just Palomino.
Just Palomino.
Yeah,
Yeah.
called it Palomino. But that horse could run.
Yeah. Is that the one that was pulling the, you almost fell off into like the,
Oh no,
The rake?
that was a set of workhorses.
oh, with that?
That was a set of workhorses.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Shetland ponies were never used
For working.
to working.
Okay. So they didn't like pull anything.
No. Oh, I take that back. Gene's horse, Brian, was used in the winter time to pull the sled.
Oh. And that was to like take kids to school and stuff? Or?
Yes, and that horse got spooked once when I was taking the younger ones to school.
Yeah.
That got spooked and it took off, and for some reason, they run until they hit the farm. And then they think they're safe.
Yeah.
Whoever thought they were chased by, I don't know. Just they get spooked.
Did you have the horses in like a pen, or were they in the barn, or where
They
were
were
they?
in the barn.
They were
Yeah,
in the barn.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if you didn't use that horse to work with him the next day, they would be outside,
Yeah.
even when it was cold, because they could go into a pole barn where they could just walk in,
Yeah.
stay out of the snowstorm. Yeah.
Yeah. When did you get your horses? Did you have to be like old enough to ride it, I guess, or no?
No. I think as soon as we could go on and ride, we could ride them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah, it was different than you're old enough to smoke. Can't take that.
We'll wait a second for it to set. So you all had your own horses. Did your dad have his own horse as well, or no?
No,
He didn't.
he never rode.
Really?
I never seen my dad on a horse.
Really?
No.
I guess he just drove the car if he went somewhere then?
I never really thought nothing of it, but I never see him on a horse.
Really?
But he used to, when he was younger, to ride to dances.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I never see him ride.
Huh.
No.
You said their names, but I know most of the time you spoke German on the farm.
Yeah.
Would you speak German to like the animals and stuff too? Like if you told them to stop and
Yeah.
yeah, well,
Stop.
that
That
stop.
means stop. Yeah.
So would you call them still those names, or would you have German names for them?
When you think about it, they're not German. They were all English names.
The horses, yeah, that's what I mean.
Brian, Polly, Shorty, Lady, Palomino. Yeah, they're all.
Yeah, I just find it interesting that you had all
Yeah.
English names for them.
Yeah, that's true. Bill. Bill is the guy that stepped on my.
Oh, your hand?
Yeah,
Yeah. Was he a workhorse or?
he was a workhorse.
Yeah.
We never rode him. He was probably one of the strongest workhorses. He was a very big horse.
I assume he would pull like plows and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, famous, he got stuck with his little Ford tractor. He was going to take a shortcut going over the creek. He didn't really know better. Instead of going where you're supposed to, he wanted to take a shortcut. And he no more went in I don't know what he thought how he could even drive in water.
Yeah.
Once he got in, but he got stuck, and he came over and got our horse when we were not home, and he hurt that horse.
He hurt him from pulling the tractor?
Yeah, I mean, we actually couldn't even use him no more to plow.
Wow.
Yeah, we had to have the vet check it out. They said the horse was abused pulling something.
Oh, man.
Then when we found out he's got his tractor stuck in he never got that tractor out. It had to be pulled out by another tractor.
Really?
Yeah. And that horse got lame. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we had to have it checked out by a vet. And then
Oh, man.
we actually had to get rid of Bill. Yeah. Why they named him Bill, I don't know.
Yeah. Because your parents really only spoke German.
Yeah.
So, but they named him Bill.
But the horses were all,
English.
yeah. Even some of the cows that they named.
Oh, did you name the cows too?
Some of them.
Yeah.
Just some. I don't know why.
Do you remember what they were named?
One was called Holstein. One was called Henry. And Henry, the reason why was Henry, they bought it from a neighbor. His name was Henry.
Okay.
Yeah, but only maybe a handful had names.
Yeah.
Guernsey, because it was a Guernsey cow. There was about maybe 5 cows were named, and they were all English. Yeah.
Did you drive much before going to Milwaukee?
Oh yeah. See, on the farm,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't hard to drive a car because you drove tractors so young.
Sure. Well, I guess, did you even need a license when you were in the
Oh yeah,
Dakota?
you did.
You did still have a license.
You did have to take your test,
Yeah.
but they were not hard. They were not hard to take the test.
Yeah.
No. But one car, and that was usually an older car, was kind of shared between the whole family.
That makes sense, yeah. Did your parents have one when you were first growing up? Like immediately?
I always see old cars,
Yeah. Yeah.
Model A's.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
you would see.
And one time we're all ready to go to town, and we drove out of the yard, and the car died, and you couldn't get it started. And that's where it was taken apart in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, never got it started.
Really? So did you just scrap it then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they made a trailer out of it. You know,
Yeah, out of the body.
yeah. I'm sure it could have been fixed,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, it wasn't hard to fix a car then.
Yeah. Was your dad handy enough that he could have fixed it if he wanted to?
He would have had to have help.
You think so?
Yeah, he would have had to have help. And there was a lot of farmers that would have helped.
Yeah, they would have come over probably.
Yeah, there was a couple neighbors that had a lot of knowledge in that, but for some reason it was taken apart, and Bobby thought he needed a trailer more.
You're right.
Yeah,
Do you know roughly how long it would have been till they got another car?
you know, I don't even know.
Yeah, sure.
I don't even know, because when you're little, and I wasn't that little then,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe I wasn't. You know, now that I think about it. But I always saw old cars,
Mm-hmm.
Model Ts. The first car I remember seeing that looked no longer like a Model A
Mm-hmm.
was a Chevy. A green kind of color. And I think it was in 1946.
Yeah.
And I was born in 1940.
Yeah.
So I was, yes.
Pretty young.
So I was still a little guy,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, and we drove that car for a long time,
Yeah. That Chevy? Or
the Chevy.
oh, so that was one of your cars. Your parents' cars.
Yeah.
Would your parents then too, like, so say they were going to like someone else's farm, would they take a horse or the car? Or would they only use the car if they were like going to town or something?
Well, I then remember then going to town more so with that Chevy
Yeah.
on Saturday nights, and we got to take turns going to town.
Oh, who would go?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure you all wouldn't fit.
One day went grocery shopping, and we used to like that.
Yeah.
And then they bought a Plymouth, and the Plymouth was even older than the Chevy,
Oh, yeah.
1930 something. And I know the back doors opened the opposite.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Suicide doors.
And they said they made like a joke about it. It was to pick up ladies. You could open the door and the ladies would fly right
Scoop them right in.
Yeah. That car was made to pick up ladies. Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. This feels like a good a time as any to show some more photos of the farm. These would have been taken in the early 80s. A little later than the 40s he mentioned, but you can see the barn, the house, and have a better understanding of the land. Here's the creek, and it's very close in proximity to the actual house. This is where they'd catch crabs, water the cattle, collect ice, and where Famous got his tractor stuck. These last two are a bit older, but show some cars. On the left is Adam with the 3 older boys. Oh, and here's that Plymouth, the lady picker-upper. So, funny enough, this episode was entirely done. I had finished it, but I had sent this photo to my grandpa. It's within a Fisher book that we have to kind of document some of the family history and some photos. And it was of Wendelin. He's on a sled here with a horse, and I sent it for confirmation for a future video. I did not know that this horse is actually Bill. This was one of my grandpa's horses, the workhorse that Wendelin actually used to try to pull out the tractor from the creek. So, yeah, here's direct evidence that Wendelin would often take and use Bill. So, shout outs to Bill, but at least we have a photo of him.
Yeah. So how can you drink out of that?
Bottle? Oh, there's a straw inside of it.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have really strong suction with my mouth.
Oh, there's a straw.
Yeah, there's a straw inside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just easier that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so